Jeffrey's growing his self-improvement channel and things are going so well. He's changing lives. He's so happy. Wait. Jeffrey, what are you doing? What are all these business videos, Jeffrey? He's fallen off his own self-improvement. He's not taking it seriously. He's just focused on business now. Business is awesome, but Jeffrey, how are you going to come back from this? We'll see what happens to Jeffrey soon, but first, Adonis. Adonis is the ultimate man. Forged through decades of self-improvement, Adonis has built himself up to be a man of character, a man who sticks to his words, a man who has changed the world through discipline, humility, presence, gratitude, and leadership. I discovered self-improvements when I was 21 years old, when I was down bad. I'm waking up in my apartment. First thing that I do is grab my phone, go to the toilet, start having a shit and start scrolling on Reddit and Instagram, and not gonna lie, I'd usually start jacking off here whilst having a shit as well, just 2-in-1 dopamine. Go and basically smoke weed right away, eating weird ultra processed junk food, like, you know, the random shit you've got in the fridge that you've had there for a while, be picking through that, hop on some video games. And I ended up stumbling across the idea to improve your mental health. I started to try it, so I downloaded this app, like the best meditation app out there, which is called Medito. I downloaded it, I set it on for 3 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna meditate for 3 minutes, it's gonna be awesome. Close my eyes, and I swear to God, within about 45 seconds, I was so bored that I was like, okay, 1 minute is enough. I literally just stopped it after 1 minute instead of the 3 minutes that I said I would do it for. Fast forward a couple of weeks, you know, I'm like on and off. I'm trying to meditate every day, but you know, I'm doing it like every few days or something. I'm trying at least. I'm just weighing up like my life, thinking like, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live like a normal person, like a Jeffrey who's slacking in his self-improvement journey, who's like got horrible mental health, who's not being productive, who's not being fulfilled. And so I'm weighing up this massive decision to move back home. Basically, I was living in like this apartment. I moved out as a young man, you know, I felt so successful. And I was thinking like, if I moved back home, I think it'd be easier for me to just like go hard in my own growth, you know, to lock in, to go into monk mode. I'd go hard on business and I'll meditate every day and I'd train so much harder and everything. And I weighed up the decision for so long up until finally I was like, fuck it, stick or twist, let's go. I ended up moving back home. I posted my lessons to YouTube, and very quickly within a year it blew up, and I was on 20, 30, 40, 50, 100,000 subscribers. By like 200k subscribers, I was like the new kid on the block who made self-improvement cool, because before me, self-improvement was fucking lame. There was like all these like skinny motherfuckers on YouTube who used to talk about like, oh, I'm not competing with anyone else. Self-improvement, by the way, was literally so lame before I started making my videos. And I was like this one abrasive, loud, aggressive motherfucker saying, I am here to compete with other people. I am competing with other people. I go to the gym because it makes me look good. I feel awesome. I'm loud. I'm aggressive. I'm swearing on camera and stuff. And it was like the world hadn't seen this form of like masculine self-improvement just yet. It quickly turned into a movement. I'm this young kid, I'm 22, 23 years old, still trying to discover, you know, find my sort of way, find my values, and suddenly I'm like thrust into like a form of fame, not like real super fame or anything, but you know, like some form of it when you've got like hundreds of thousands of viewers and everything. It gets to around 2022 where I'm making really good money, like I'm making $20,000-$30,000 per month. That's when my mind really starts to like become focused in business and in money. I'm hanging out with these millionaires. I fly to Dubai and I see these guys who are making so much money, and it's like, oh, okay, like this is what success is like all these guys, they're on their phone 24/7, like messaging their team. This is what success looks like. Okay, having a big business and selling products. Okay, yeah, this is it. And from that point, I started to lose my way. I stopped waking up and doing my morning routine, which I had done for 2 years straight. I'd wake up and start working right away because that was the priority now, you know, business is more important than self-improvement. I think I still had like residue self-improvement gains from the 2 years that I just spent like meditating an hour a day and everything. So I didn't really feel it right away. But what I didn't realize was like slowly I was losing the progress that I had been building up. Like, I don't know if you'd believe this, but from 2020 to 2022, I had such pristine mental health. Like, I was so deeply happy. I used to smile all the time. I used to like, you know, eat as clean as possible and meditate and take the cold showers and dopamine detox. I never ever used to use like social media. Like, even though I used to post on it, I used to create content but not consume it. So I had like very, very good mental health, and I slowly started to lose that. I lost my way. I started to just be focused on like the numbers, the revenue, the products, the money. And basically I slacked heavily, almost entirely, on my self-improvement. So I've seen videos, and you probably have as well, I've seen videos of other creators who make them about me, and they say like, oh yeah, Hamza fell off. And honestly, like, you don't even know the half of it, because I've not spoke about a lot of this online. Not only did I upload some videos that got very low views on YouTube, I also slacked on my own growth and my own self-improvement journey and my health. You want to see something? Just bring the entire fucking thing, I guess. There's literally big fucking, I don't know if you can see that properly, but like big fucking garbage bag of McDonald's that I had recently, and like drinks and stuff all around me. And like, there was a time when I could not imagine that I would be eating unhealthy foods. And you know, the thing is, look, when I think money blinded me, because this is probably the worst my self-improvement has been in years, but it's also the most money I've made in years. And so can you imagine like you're kind of falling off in your self-improvement, but you're making a fuck ton of money. You can imagine that you'd kind of like almost, you know, you'd devalue self-improvement in some ways. I'm sure that you'd have like better character than me, but like, it's very easy to be blinded when you've got like the sort of monetary success, and you're like, yeah, but it doesn't even matter about meditation because I'm making more and more money. I was the guy who used to meditate like an hour a day, right, at least minimum, and it was so special. It basically was like ADHD medication for me. I'm not like diagnosed, but I most likely do have it. I have the symptoms of someone who's quite like fucking fickle and jumping around, changing my mind so often. When I used to meditate an hour a day, I wasn't like that. I was so much more like sort of like focus and be able to like stick to tasks and stick to plans and stick to my word. But in like 2022, I stopped. And you know what was embarrassing? Imagine I've built up like this massive personality of like, yeah, you know, guys, I'm the guy on self-improvement. I was traveling with my video editor in Thailand in 2022, and he looked at me once and he was like looking at me a bit weird, and he went, Hamza, do you actually meditate? And I had skipped it for a few months at that point, so I looked kind of embarrassed, and I was like, yeah, I do, because I had meditated almost every day for like a year before this. And he went, it's because it's just that I've never seen you meditate before. I was so embarrassed when he said that. I just lied, and I was like, oh yeah, I meditate in my room every day. It's a complete fucking lie. Like, I stopped meditating like early 2022 when I saw guys who were like richer than me who didn't meditate. So I was like, oh, well, you don't need it for this goal that I've got in business. Of course, like, I should have realized, like, you know, there's more to fucking life than business. You should still have good mental health. But yeah, I've slacked in meditation since that point. For the last like 6 months, I've wanted to shred down, and I'll be honest, like, I haven't. I've got a very good physique right now, very good, but like, I've stayed at like 13, 14, 15% body fat in the last 6 months, even though I've actually set goals and wanted to shred down, just because I'm not even like disciplined with cardio, with eating clean, with tracking my calories. Like, sometimes I do eat relatively clean for quite a long period, but I'll often overeat, and I just won't track calories, and I just, you know, I skip out on cardio so often because I just do like bodybuilding and stuff. And then even along with that, last year I fell off with lifting weights, which for a guy like me is so, imagine like, okay, you've been lifting weights for 10 years straight, you've built your dream physique and everything, and last year I literally stopped training in the gym for about 4 or 5 months, and I lost like a significant amount of muscle mass. And I remember like there's a picture of me, like, I still look pretty good. If you look at my shoulders, I've got like, you know, I've still got an okay physique, but I was like, you know, I didn't look good, I didn't look healthy, I looked scrappy, I looked like scraggly and scruffy, and like I lost a lot of muscle mass. I got really quite skinny. I was like 170 pounds, like 70 something kg, 75, 77 or something. I should have been disciplined and kept going to the gym, but I just, you know, I ended up having like a bad period of life late last year, and I was stressed and overwhelmed with things and whatever, and so I ended up just like skipping the gym or barely going like once a week. And then with my relationship as well, so for the last like 1.5 years or 2 years or so, I was like in a relationship with a girl that, you know, I'd shown on YouTube, that I'd built up this sort of brand of, you know, like, this is my girl, and, you know, fatherhood is so important, we're gonna have children soon and everything, and that was the plan. And then under your perception of like, you know, a viewer, I abruptly broke up with her, but for people who knew me, it was like a very long-term decision. It was something I was weighing out for like literally months and months and months. But even that I could have handled better. You want to hear the fucking truth right now? This is going to be fucking gross, but I wasn't going to say this because it's embarrassing. I was just about to stop recording because I need a shit, bro. And like my stomach fucking hurts. You know when you eat shit food and your stomach just hurts? I'll be right back, bro. Sorry, man. I'm 27 years old now, but Just imagine this for a second. Imagine achieving all of your goals by 26 years old. You retired your family, you've got millions of followers, you've built the aesthetic body, you're traveling around the world. It can go to your head so quickly before you realize, like, I was certain, you know, when I was on the come up, I was so certain I was going to be one of those people who didn't fall off from like a lack of discipline or humility. I was so certain because I'd seen it with, you know, Conor McGregor and athletes and everything. They always kind of like discipline themselves in the early days, then they build success, and then they just kind of like lose it all because of random mistakes that they made. And I always used to see that and be like, oh yeah, not me, bro, not me. And then I just find myself in this situation because when you do reach success, it's like, it's so easy for everyone who hypes you up for it to get to your head, and you think like, oh yeah, I am invincible. Oh yeah, it's not that big of a deal if I skip one gym session. Oh, it's not that big of a deal if I like eat the junk food once because, you know, I'm already jacked, so it's fine. It's not going to make a difference. That's what happens. It's like, oh no, but I've already meditated so much, so if I skip it for a few days, it's not even going to make a difference. And then before you realize it, it's like you haven't meditated for 2 months. And I must say, from your perspective, it must have been annoying as fuck and like cringe. It's so fucking cringe to see me make decisions that I didn't even stick to, where I'd randomly flip-flop and change my mind. Okay, we're going to do this style of content. A week later, we're going to do this style of content. A week later, we're going to do this one and this one. Business to self-improvement to Jeffrey Adonis videos to long videos, and, you know, just flipping my mind around. And I really think that that's like, that comes from a greater problem, honestly. Like, I think it's I genuinely think it's like a sign of ADHD, and I really want to start meditating to get rid of that now. It must have been disappointing to watch a guy who presented himself, or not who presented himself, but to watch a guy who had a lot of potential, who was good on this path, who was a leader, to then not hold himself accountable. It must have been disappointing for you to watch that, because it was disappointing for me to experience that. So I can sit here and wallow in my pity and just get sad and stuff, or I can fucking get on self-improvement the same way that I recommend to the boys. And so this is my plan to have an amazing comeback. I'm just going to go hard on my self-improvement journey the same way that I was before, but just with some slight twists. The first big one is that I want to surround myself with good people, particularly the kind of ones who call me out. You kind of probably know this, the sort of Hamza lore, like the background story, but basically for most of the journey, when we went from like 1,000 subscribers, like basically 0 to like 2 million, I had my right hand man, like my video editor Sam, and he is, I swear to God, he is the one person on earth who I can't convince. Like, I'm very good at convincing people, so I can literally, like, I'll have team members or family and I'll tell them like, no, here's something bad I should do, but like, here's like 7 reasons why it's a good thing, and then they'll give an objection, you know, because I understand sales as well, so it's like I know how to overcome objections and everything. But Sam is the one guy I've ever met in my life who I can't. Like, if I've genuinely got a good idea, then he agrees. And then around that time, when, you know, I was falling off on self-improvement and I wasn't keeping up like the meditation, the social skills, me and Sam ended up having, Sam was like my old best friend basically. We went our separate ways, we stopped working together, we didn't speak for like an entire year. And recently we've been talking again, which has been so nice, because, you know, it's like, imagine you're speaking to a best friend again after so long. It's been a year straight that you haven't spoke to them, and suddenly like you click on Discord, they're online, and you call them, and we had like a 3-hour wholesome call yesterday just talking about life and traveling and all sorts. And I said it to him, like, I'm so grateful that not only like we're friends again, but that I actually feel so much better with like my sort of YouTube channel and business and self-improvements, because I've got you by my side, and it always did so well when you were here and you were like advising me, because you understand the boys that I'm trying to help. Another action step that I've already taken is that I've unlocked the big Discord server. So basically it was locked for like 6 months straight and no one could use it, and I went through with Sal's help and I unlocked it all, and now at any given time there's like 10,000 people online. I think there's just under 200,000 total people. This morning I went on a call in there, or 2 calls in there. It was full. There was like 75 guys on live calls, which is fucking awesome. Think about that. A Discord server where it was like 5 a.m. and there was about 75 guys on live calls together, all on self-improvements. And it was so wholesome having like a one-to-one call with one kid, and then going on to like the big call, and so many guys were asking me questions and everything. And you can join completely for free. They'll be like linked below if you do want to join like a self-improvement community. I'm going to start my habit tracker again. I haven't made my old habit tracker style, like I used to write it out on paper and stick it up. I've not made one of them in years, but I'm going to start one of them again. I'm going to put in like meditation and tracking my calories, because I want to get lean and everything. And that always used to help me, because it's just like physically there, you can't avoid it. And one thing I might do is start putting it up like behind where I record, so that it's kind of scary because it's like everyone's gonna see it in my video, so you're gonna see if I've like actually been sticking to the self-improvement this time. I'm also traveling and skyrocketing my social skills because I'm spending time with people like every single day. And so if you do happen to see me in your city, then make sure you come and say hi. Right now I'm in Singapore, and then I go back to Bali soon. So this morning I woke up, not gonna lie, I felt kind of sickly. I am kind of sick right now, like my stomach hurts from the fucking shit food that I ate yesterday. I'm like nasally and everything, which is like, you know, poor immune system or something. I'm just kind of like tired and slow and whatever. But I sat up straight in the bed and I stuck on the Medito app, the meditation app that I used to use, and meditated for 20 minutes. I'd lie to you right now and say, yeah, you know, I meditated, I was so good. Bro, for most of it, I was distracted, I won't lie. For most of it, I was just there with my eyes open, just kind of like daydreaming and stuff. But I closed my eyes for a few moments and I was like practicing for a little bit. It was sweet. Like I feel good. I feel proud that I actually sat down and did that, which I know isn't a massive accomplishment for you now that you're probably way more consistent on self-improvement than I am right now. But we've all got to start somewhere to like get out of the ruts that we often do find ourselves on self-improvements. But I know that for a fact, like there'll be guys out there watching this thinking like, damn, like that's actually so helpful. Like it's so good to see, like you have to keep yourself disciplined no matter the level of success that you get to. And so how did the story with Jeffrey and Adonis go? As Jeffrey is, you know, built up the self-improvement chart. I wonder who I'm talking about. Maybe Adonis comes in and helps Jeffrey to find the way. People think that every time I speak about Adonis, they think that I'm talking about myself. I'm not. I'm not even close. I realize that I make more mistakes than the men who follow me. I make so many mistakes. Like I fuck up literally all the time. But I think one of the things that I do have, which is a really good skill, is I just have grit. Even when I do fall off, I do eventually end up picking myself back up and just push it forward anyway. That's what happens to Jeffrey. If you want to see self-improvement content, then you can click on the subscribe button below. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.
Wow.